What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here in the Odd Shepherd channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. My face just started swelling up, starting to get a little bit hivey. It is allergy season out here, so that is just the way that I feel about that. I'm sure I'm not the only person here. Summer allergies into spring allergies, and yeah, just not feeling 100%. So we're just going to get through this one. Got the plays. In the right state of mind still. Ended up putting a lot of work into this slate. 9 games. We start in the morning, so I'm going to jump into the premium Discord a little bit earlier than I normally do. Sometimes the morning games get a little bit shorted just purely because of scheduling, and, well, I'm not going to work 14, 16 hours every single day, but I'm here to make you money, and hopefully that's what we get with some Dodgers props. Got to those 5, 6, 7 hole guys. Hayward. Didn't get anything to pay. Just got to Hayward, Biggio, Lux. Hopefully we can get a couple of total bases and some hits and some runs and some RBIs and some other stuff from that combination of dudes. But anywho, we've got 9 games. We've got an interesting game going on in Birmingham. We'll cover that one a little bit for you as well with the Giants and the Cardinals. Willie Mays passing away. That'll definitely be a special thing. Something I'll want to watch, but I'll also want to watch it to live bet. We'll want to check out Odd Shopper, BetMGM, all the great things. But without further ado, producer Jacob, he's like, oh, Eric's going to talk quick today. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to get through this one, my friends. My sick game, if you will. It's not that bad, but let's get to the picks. Get-go, I had a half unit that I just sacrificed to the gods there. Brendan Fat had 0 strikeouts in 6 1/3. Had like 35 pitches through 4 innings and no strikeouts. Washington was making contact, and I get it, but CJ Abrams was scratched. That is something to be paying very close attention to leading into tomorrow, and yet I still think we have some value here on the Washington side. It's Ryan Nelson versus Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore has been the ace of this Washington staff, not remotely close. 28.3% K rate, 36.8% hard hit, 306 xWOBA, 7% barrel percentage. Everything is good, but Ryan Nelson is terrible, no good, very bad. 294 expected batting average, 483 expected slugging, only a 15.8% K rate. Can we get Rosario? Can we get Lane Thomas? Can we get Jesse Winker to go yah-yah and do some stuff? That'd be great. And Luis Garcia, assuming he'll be, he's been a good this year, 272 expected batting average. But the big thing, can we get a late addition, if you will, to C.J. Abrams? Not sure if he ends up suiting up for this one. But either way, based on what we just saw with Patrick Corbin as a southpaw going up against Arizona, I think it bodes well for a way better southpaw in Mackenzie Gore. Minus 138. I like it. I do think you want to get on this a little bit early because if Abrams gets added, this could be north of minus 145, and, well, it should be north of minus 145 as it is. It's wild. This is probably my least prop-friendly card that I've had in quite some time, purely because, well, there's only 2 props that I'm even, like, looking at and identifying, and I'm not even sure we get to take advantage of their home run numbers, but their total bases numbers might be advantageous. It's Luis Castillo going up against Logan Allen, and how about Tanner Bybee? Another amazing start by him up against Seattle. Now, Logan Allen's been much worse. 479 expected slugging, 47% hard hit, 9.7% barrel percentage. And this is a southpaw who really brings no velocity to the table. 90, 91 on the fastball. He's throwing that half the time. Mixes in the sweeper changeup, and not super impressed by anything that he's done. Had a much better season last time around, that's for sure. But looking at his numbers this season, 5.14 expected ERA, way up from his 4.42 expected ERA last season. So the results reflecting more in line with the ERA there, 5.30 this season, 3.81 last season. However, I'm going to be looking at Luis Castillo and targeting him outside of Seattle. Now, he used to pitch in Cincinnati. Now, that is a tough ballpark when it comes to giving up power, but Seattle's a lot more friendly for that, and it's the #1 pitcher's ballpark with a 3-year rolling average over on Baseball Savant in terms of run prevention. And now he heads to Cleveland. But the weather looks a little bit more muted this time around. But Luis Castillo with a 17.4-degree launch angle, 28.7% fly ball rate, does have that 25.2% K rate. But there's some guys like Josh Naylor who don't strike out, and they smash the frickin' cover off of it. 45% hard hit, 494 expected slugging. Somehow, some way, I talk about this guy all the time, and he goes yard on Wednesday when I'm not on his home run prop. Actually didn't end up on just about any home run props on Wednesday, which is a little bit strange to me. Kind of a weird card coming off of yesterday. Again, the Pete Alonso number was nuked in a place where I didn't want it. I'm still looking at Logan O'Hoppe. That game starts in about 30 minutes. I might end up firing that one up. It looks a little bit more advantageous now. I don't know, Freddie Peralta, not the guy you generally want to be targeting for home runs. But either way, friends, I do think 2+ bases for Josh Naylor, considering those numbers and his ability to avoid those strikeouts. Only a 16.8% strikeout rate on the season. As long as you're getting plus money, fire up Josh Naylor. Probably the most disgusting spot in terms of weather coming into tomorrow. We've got wind blowing in Minnesota. We've also got wet weather. Now, I'm going to make this a lean like, and again, lean like is kind of at my discretion. I came up with these rules as is. Lean, something I'm thinking about betting, or, it's on the outside looking in. We have props that we can talk about, but I'm not going to give you the exact like or lock in those situations unless I see the numbers. I'm always giving you fair values on things I would be betting above a certain threshold. This is a weird one because 7.5 exists at one book, FanDuel, and then it's 8 pretty much across the board. But I'm putting 7.5, and we got 7.5 covered here purely because if the weather is a go here, I want to be jumping in early in the morning tomorrow. And if it bypasses and moves to 8, happy to be passing and happy to be avoiding it. But purely, these two pitchers are not of the quality to have a 7.5 total. This is purely like weather, speculation, mixed with the fact that potentially both of these bullpens, we'll see how things mix with today's start. I know Joe Ryan going on the Minnesota side of things. We'll see the bullpen usage, but I'm just going to make this a lean. I have not bet this one yet. Sometimes I have a like where I'm like, hey, I bet this. I don't think you need to be forcing it. Holy crap, Josh Naylor just hit a second home run. Yeah, we might not be getting the value there either, but over 7.5, need to see the weather in the morning. I'm not a meteorologist, but pretty good at figuring it out. It's the years of golf, figuring out what to bring for a tire. Nobody cares. Cool, good talk. Glad we had it. Let's talk Odd Shopper. OS Premium Tools, Discord, Insider Access. If you want to come hang out with me tomorrow, talk through the betting card, get some of those Euro fire bets from Mr. Ben Raza. You want to be jumping into that premium Discord and hanging out with us. But we've got some plays that'll be market-based approach where we are comparing every book you have available in your state and giving you the best available plays with the best available numbers and which books those are at. So again, Odd Shopper Tools just smashing across the board. We have the Fantasy Optimizer for the people playing DraftKings Pick 6, for the people playing Underdog, Prize Picks, everything you know and love in the Pick'em streets. We have available data for you as well. That's $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly for everything. And if you use promo code Lindy, Lindy, that's me. Then you can get it for 20% off. That becomes $12 for your first week, $40 for your first month. Awesome opportunity to jump into that premium Discord tomorrow morning early. We're going to have baseball all the live long day. That'll be fun. Back to the picks we go. There's vomit on his sweater already. Spencer Arrighetti going up against Chris. He stays flexing in his candy pane, rolling dank, sipping drank on an 84 swang. That bit never gets old, but I will say I didn't have the normal enthusiasm behind it, but I'm fighting through this one, friends. But Arrighetti, 25.1% K rate looks great. 12.4% walk rate, 336 xWOBA. The thing he has going for him that's the absolute best and nobody's going to question is that Chicago is dead last in baseball with a 77 WRC plus. That is weighted runs created plus. Again, it just for ballpark, does all that stuff. Chicago, decent enough hitting ballpark that, again, minus 180, that's a massive number, but plus 152 isn't good enough for me on the White Sox side, but I think minus 113 comes into the realm of playable. I guess the main thing that I'm worried about is getting burned by Yordan Alvarez rejoining the Houston Astros out for a second straight game. That is very, very important because he's one of the best hitters in baseball over any 3-year sample size. Used to be a Dodger. Didn't play for the Dodgers. He was in their AAA team, but wild that they ended up giving him up because the Dodgers are normally good at coveting those prospects like that. Gavin Lux hopefully can stay healthy. Hopefully he can just do stuff here on Wednesday night. That's what I care about. But Chris Flexen here on the other side of this one, not very good, but having a decent enough season by his standards. Sub 35% hard hit. 4.69 expected ERA is better than his 5.35 ERA, but he is not very good. This has everything to do with the number. Plus 1.5, around minus 110. That would be on the card. Right now, minus 113 on the outside looking in. Friends, oh my goodness, there's an 11.5 on FanDuel. Again, FanDuel, a couple of low-hanging pieces of fruit, and then they've got a couple that they've nuked up pretty early relative to some of the other books. So kind of goes back and forth. But Gavin Stone Tide going up here for the Colorado Rockies. 11.5 has moved to 12 at a number of books, but still has an 11.5 available. Jump on in. And I think even at 12, I'd be interested. When you talk about what are like going towards the overs here, I mean, having that half run is a giant piece, but 6-6 pushes up, 10-10 pushes up, 8 runs. Again, there's these numbers that are key numbers for overs. That is 8, 10, 12, but 11.5 on the outside looking in, I suppose, for some people. Not for me. I'm going to definitely be firing this one up. The wind is blowing out It is projected to blow out yet again here. We're getting warmer in Colorado than we had on Tuesday and Wednesday. No problem for runs on Monday, Tuesday. Can tell you that much. Shout out the Dodgers in that 9th inning. 7 runs that they fired up there in an 11-9 come from behind victory. I know a lot of people live bet that one in the premium Discord. They are braver than I, but over 11.5. I do like it in this spot. Pay attention to the lefties in that pen here. We'll see. We'll see if Jalen Beeks, there's only one of them. If Jalen Beeks ends up showing up here, because Ty Block is a lefty, we do have pitch-in concerns. We could be looking at some unders on 1.5 total bases this time around for some of the Dodger righties. Seth Lugo on the mound, going up against Mitch Spence, and looking at, this game is just absolutely, utterly disgusting. Do I really want to even break this down? Should I save my strength? I think we probably should. I have so much baseball to talk, so many weeks and months of it here, and also just want to give you good information, and I see absolutely nothing I really want to do here. Oakland plus 122. If you absolutely had to take anything here, 7.5 weirdly is kind of effective here in the afternoon. This ballpark is mitigating wind. It's just a weird spot overall. Oakland money line simply for the plus money number, but don't bet this. Bet here though, friends. BetMGM, first bet safety net up to $1,500. Get bonus bets. That's simply, this is the easier way of explaining it. If you haven't signed up at BetMGM yet, get exposure to one of the biggest sportsbooks that exists in America down at the link below, because they're giving you this amazing opportunity in order to join them. Well, not just in order to join them, by joining them, that is. You sign up at the link, deposit $25 or more, and whatever you play for that first bet, whether it's $100, $500, up to $1,500, hell, it could be $20 if you really wanted it to be. That first bet you make, you get it back in bonus bets if it loses. If it wins, keep your money. Amazing chance to take a huge swing at something in the BetMGM streets. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Now, here is my favorite spot on the card. Now, we got news that Aaron Judge, X-rays came back negative. Happy to see all of that great news. Wasn't in the lineup this time around. I think that's kind of scheduled maintenance no matter what. Even if Aaron Judge is fine and the MRI comes back great, it was good for them to give him a day off on Wednesday. But leading into Thursday, does he rejoin this rotation? Well, this lineup? That'd be a gigantic deal considering they have their ace. Yeah, I'm going to call him their ace over Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole needs to accumulate sample size. Also, I believe he gave up a big shot there to Ramon Urias. So he ends up hitting a yah. They're up 3-1. Baltimore is heading into, they're up 4-1 now. It is in that 5th inning. So pay close attention. But as it stands right now, they did call up Rice, their coveted first base guy. It was a great moment to see him celebrate his first major league hit. Enjoyed that one. But either way, this is all about the starting pitching. Almost put the first 5, but let me explain a couple of things. For starters, Baltimore does have a pen. The Yankees, they have a pen. This is going to be an AL East matchup that's just going to be fun to watch overall. But Luis Gil, he was sitting a little bit north of minus 145 there on the first 5. Don't really want to go out of my way to force that one for him. I don't mind him entirely. I'm going to look at some bullpen usage, but I already bet this, so it is what it is. I like the full unit sent here with Luis Gil. 177 expected batting average, 30.4% K rate. He has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. 26-year-old who's really come from absolutely nowhere. Didn't pitch all of 2023 here. 2022, we're talking about he had stuff for the one outing he basically had. 2021 is the last time we had sample size, but all of his big league years, 2021, 2022, 2024, ridiculously good expected ERA, and then a 2.75 expected ERA this season. We're going to lock that up here against Cole Irvin. This is just not a good pitcher. 330 xWOBA, 460 expected slugging, and you get a dude out there, a southpaw, who doesn't get the protection that he normally gets of a deep left field in Baltimore here. I think the Yankees, maybe they get Judge back, maybe they don't. I haven't even necessarily gone completely crazy trying to say, Ben Rice, is he going to be in the lineup here? How are they going to handle this? Trent Grisham? That's a huge downgrade. Everybody's a downgrade over Aaron Judge. There's no doubt about it. But Luis Gil, this is not a correct number. We want to get in now. This isn't going to move the way that the Pablo Lopez one did from minus 140 to minus 190 at lock, but I could see this north of minus 150 by the time first pitch comes around. San Francisco at St. Louis here, and this is the game that I alluded to. We are heading to Birmingham, Alabama. Now, phenomenal stuff. The Negro Leagues gets added. All of the greatness that they had from back in the day gets added officially part of the Major League Baseball statistics. Really cool stuff to see. And coming off of Juneteenth here on Wednesday, they're heading to Birmingham. Going to be really cool also with San Francisco to be able to honor Willie Mays as he passed away. I'm looking forward to about everything in this baseball game, but I alluded to it at the top of this show. I also really think there's going to be some live betting opportunities that exist based on what we see. And normally, I wouldn't prospectively say, oh, we need to absolutely go there to Rickwood Field and figure out, jamming some overs and locking stuff. But I will say I'm at least being trepidatious because looking at Rickwood, some of the park dimensions, I think it's going to play a little bit small. I think home run numbers might be inflated as a result. Books are a little bit worried about this stuff coming off of Mexico City from 2 seasons, or a season ago it was, where they're basically playing baseball on the moon and the numbers weren't correct coming into that one. When they go to the Field of Dreams in Iowa, when they go on some of these OA games, the London spots, you have such small amount of data, and some of them are just converted ballparks seeing for the first time, and you don't know how they're going to play, and you just kind of want to put all of your eggs into one basket. I think if I had to put them into the basket on if this plays neutral, if this plays small, if it plays big, I think this is going to be a smaller type ballpark where we could find some value with home runs, but the books do know that people like to bet for home runs rather than against. So you might not be getting the numbers to reflect when we get to the open. We do have some hitter props available, and just kind of stacking those up, they seem like there's a lot of hold where they're giving you an option to bet on both sides, but it's going to be difficult to find a ton of value here against Mr. Wynn and Palante, other than right from the get-go, the over of 8.5. I think this is something you want to jump in on, and I will be probably trying to live bet something here. I just want to be waiting and watching some of the early parts of this ballpark. Want to get some more wind report too. That was kind of a tough one. I went to windfinder.com, tried to find you a little bit more information, but as it stands right now, these two pitchers, these two starters are guys that I want to attack. Win, 489 expected slugging, 50% hard hit. Palante, 17.2% K rate, 43.2% hard hit, and they had to pitch a little bit more. Yes, they had to pitch a little bit more with Kyle Gibson, a surprise scratch there. So be on the lookout. I don't think he ends up being the guy who's inserted here as a start, but either way, I think the ballpark plays a little bit smaller. Going to be watching this one live and trying to jump in on some numbers. Talked around in circles a little bit here, but our final game of the night, Bryce Wilson and Mr. Mazur, and boy, do I have nothing for you. Mazur is not a major league quality pitcher here right now at this point in time. Now, there's a lot of people who think there's promise there. He's a second rounder from 2022. He's only, 23 years of age. Pitched for Iowa back in the day. I'm familiar with a lot of stuff with him, but 4.82 expected ERA, a lot better than his 7.82 ERA. It's just not a pitcher that I'm all that impressed with. 94-95 here on the four-seamer, the slider mixing in a little bit. I know he's young. There's a lot of people who are banging the drum for him, but I'm at least a little bit trepidatious based on some of his data after his first couple starts. And then Milwaukee, we've seen time and time again how they just overperform against righties. Freaks me out a little bit. They're fifth still in baseball, 113 WRC plus. They're playing Mr. Anderson here tonight. We'll see how that pans out in about 20 minutes. But as I look at the board for tomorrow, not a whole hell of a lot that I want to mine out other than potentially Christian Yelich, who's pretty darn good in this ballpark, pretty darn familiar with it. Christian Yelich is really good at hitting baseballs. He's a lefty. I don't know. That's a lean for me here. Again, another plus money spot that I'm expecting on an elite bat. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board here for Thursday. I'm going to get myself the heck up out of here and go take some medicine on my face and all the other stuff. But producer Jacob, I know that he's got his allergy stuff too from time to time. He's appreciated. He's loved. Thank you for speeding through this one for me, making it easy on me. Check out BetMGM, friends. Check out Odd Shopper. Ow, I just hit my hand. That didn't exactly feel good either. Till next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.